Okay, guys, so first question I want to ask, you guys talked about it a little bit earlier, but what's kind of the process every day and what you guys do here in the evenings with your animals?
So the process of like how things go with the animals, I mean, it's almost every single hour of the day. Like the animals need almost 24 hours of attention. So like we'll have feedings in the mornings, and then my dad will go to work or I will go to dance practice, and then I'll come back in the afternoon and feed them lunch. And then in the evenings we'll come around about 6 o'clock and we'll start getting the animals kind of like woken up, and I like to go in their pens and like play with them just a little bit, because one of the biggest key points of having livestock is making them human friendly, because everybody at the county fair wants to come and see the animals and pet them. And so it's our responsibility as people who are showing livestock to make our animals human friendly. That way people can enjoy the animals at the fair. And then afterwards we'll take our goats and sheep and we'll put them on the walker. We'll walk them for about 10 minutes, and then I'll start to take them off individually and just work them by myself. That way I can have one-on-one time with each animal and get the best practice that I possibly can. And then afterwards, I'll change out waters and clean them, making sure the animals are getting fresh water. I do that morning and night. And then afterwards, we'll feed them dinner. And then sometimes we'll set them outside if the weather is nice. That way they can move their body during the nighttime. But sometimes it's rainy or windy, and if that's the case, then we'll leave them inside. And throughout the week, some days are different. We have our spa days. So what the spa days look like is you'll wash the sheep legs, because a big part of showing market sheep is the way they look and the way they carry themselves. And you want them to have nice leg hair, because it makes them look more nice. I don't really know how to describe it. More presentable, yes. And so we wash their legs and we'll put shampoo and conditioner just like you wash human hair. And then we'll put leg wraps on them, that way and blow dry them. And then you never let sheep's hair stay wet, because it'll make it fall out. So, and then afterwards we'll wrap it up, because sheep tend to get mites in their hair, and they like nibble at their skin, and it'll cause the leg wool to fall off. So we put leg wraps on, that way it keeps the wool pretty clean and safe from mites. And we do the same thing with the goats, except we don't put leg wraps on them, because mites don't tend to nibble at goats. They just like the sheep, just because the wool is more thick and they can hide in there better. But that's kind of the basics of what we do daily.
Okay, cool. And then it sounds like it's obviously a lot. So is there any like stress that comes with it? And if so, how do you deal with that?
So one of my favorite mottos, it actually comes from the FFA Creed that was written by E.M. Tiffany. It states the joys and discomforts of agriculture life, and it's something that I've carried with myself throughout my whole SAE experience. There are always joys and discomforts with raising your own livestock, because nothing ever goes as planned. Goats will get sick. Like we recently just had a goat get sick a couple of weeks ago. Well, actually it was last weekend. It was while we were at a Roswell jackpot, and he was panting a lot, and we didn't know what was going to happen to him, so we just gave him medication. We talked to several vet professionals and to get their input to see on what we could do, and thankfully I think we got him cured, and he'll be able to continue his progress for the county fair. But we've had goats unfortunately pass away like prior to fairs. Sometimes it's unexpectedly. I've had one that had a kidney stone, and it happened right before the state fair, and we had no idea what was happening because he didn't show any signs, and that's very devastating. But you always have to remember why you do what you do. As I was doing some research, I found out that 60% of the world eats goat meat, and so it's cool being able to have your own operation and being able to help feed the world. So I think just having that mentality in mind helps with the discomforts. But it's always amazing getting to watch your goats being born and getting to watch them play and just grow up. It's a huge joy, but that's kind of how you have to cope with those discomforts of agriculture life. I mean, it's always unexpectable, or what's the word? Unpredictable.
Yeah.
Unpredictable. It's always unpredictable, but you just have to have a good mentality in mind.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And then now you talk about the Roswell jackpot. I think you've been in some other ones recently. How did you do in those? And just how was the preparation for that?
I actually had a really successful Roswell jackpot. I was 4th overall in show B.
Okay.
And so I think there was about 120 sheep that actually came to the Roswell jackpot. So being 4th overall out of the whole entire show, it's really exciting. I also did get two first places and a second place, and I think a 4th. But it was very successful, and even though it was pretty hot, we still had a lot of fun and kept cool.
For sure.
Yes.
And then how is that going to help you for the Eddy County Fair in a few weeks, do you think?
Well, just being able to get your animals outside of the barn, because our animals tend to get very barn sour. They like to stay in their home, just like anybody else. We like to stay home.
Yeah.
So just being able to take them out and getting that exposure of what the ring's going to be like, and just getting them exposure to different animals, I think is really going to help them from the Eddy County Fair. That's kind of really what the purpose of jackpots are, to just help kids prepare for their next show. So I think that the jackpot really will help for the Eddy County Fair.
And your family obviously plays a big role. They're there supporting you, helping you through this process. Just tell me how big that they've been for you.
I would not be able to do what I do without my parents. They are the backbone to the barn. They, since I'm a very busy person, I'm a competitive dancer, I'm in National Honor Society, I'm the president of Artesia FFA, I'm preparing for college. I just have a lot going on, so I'm super grateful that my parents are there to help support me and help me make sure that my animals are staying in line, making sure they're healthy, I'm getting everything accomplished and getting my goals accomplished. So my parents truly are the backbone to everything that goes on, and I would not be able to do it without them.
And then are there any nerves that go into any of the events that you're in, or are you just more confident because you've been doing it for so long?
Well, anything I do, I do get nerves a lot, and especially because I have huge expectations for myself, and so I always want to be the best person I can possibly be. So within showing and any of the other contests, public speaking contests, I'm always nervous because I always try to be the best I can be, and sometimes I'm scared I'm going to disappoint, or I'm not going to accomplish my goals. So nerves do play a big role in my life, but I just have to remember that I've worked hard for everything that I've done, so that's kind of just how I cope with my nerves. Yes.
And then I know you guys talked about it a little before. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about or brag about?
Well, the FFA Creed, she did this as an 8th grader, and her dad was actually an ag teacher. And when Bailey was little, she used to go to practice with him. And she was 2 years old, and she, on the way home, she just started saying the FFA Creed without anybody working with her. And so when she was in the 8th grade, she did, district, state, and then went on to Phoenix Nationals, and she won all 3 of them, first place. And then the 9th grade year, she won district, state, and nationals in Indianapolis.
Oh, wow.
And she went undefeated through her whole career.
And so basically the FFA Creed, almost every single 6th, 7th, and 8th graders compete in that who are enrolled in FFA. So I did the math, and technically I would have competed against 310,000 people.
Wow. Oh my.
That's the amount of people that competed in the FFA Creed in 2024. So only the state champions that year get to go to Indianapolis to compete. So it's kind of like a repetitive round, like different rounds, but
there were 3 rounds.
Yeah, there were 3 rounds at nationals, but that's kind of how it works. So
okay.
Yes.
So
Go ahead.
the first round, there's a room, all 50 of them. There's probably 4 rooms y'all have, and 10 to 12 would go into each room, and then they'd pick out the best 2 or 3, and then they would go to the next round, and then they'd pick out, end up the final 4.
All right, guys. So last question I want to ask. You guys talked about where you guys have traveled. Where are some of the favorite places you guys have traveled, and just what has that experience been like?
My favorite place that I traveled has to be New York, even though it's for dance. just being able to see a whole different atmosphere, because obviously we live in this small town, Artesia, New Mexico. It's kind of a desert, so we don't really get to see those huge skyscrapers and see all the different kinds of people and just the whole different atmosphere. That's definitely been my favorite place. I went to New York at AMDA College, and I got to dance with Broadway professionals, and I got to train 3 weeks with them. So that was by far the best experience that I've ever had. I also went and trained with the Miami Dolphins in Miami, Florida, and that was also a beautiful place because I had never been to a beach, because since I have animals, we never get to go on vacation, so getting to train with them and getting to go to an actual beach was amazing. I think those are the two of my favorite places that I've been to.
For sure.
Yes.
And what about you? What would you say?
Oh, definitely New York. It's
Nice.
Yes, it was amazing. And Miami, those two are the best. I mean,
Can't go wrong with that.
No, the beaches. I've never seen clear blue beaches.
Oh yeah. How was the weather when you guys went?
Well, the first day it rained.
Oh, we're
It rained a couple days, but
after the first 2 days, it was like 80 degrees, but the UV was 12, so it was like the sun was out, but it felt nice, especially next to the beach, because the beach
For sure.
kind of makes it a little bit cold. But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And then, those are all the questions I had. Was there anything else you guys wanted to add before we close?
No, favorite place that we've gone with animals.
probably Arizona.
Yeah.
In Phoenix or?
Yes, Phoenix,
Nice.
Arizona. We've gone 2 years to Phoenix, Arizona, and it's a whole different ball game than like even the state fair here. It's just crazy. It's all these big time professionals with their animals. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. But.
Was that the last 2 years you went, or which years were they?
So I went.
Last year.
Yeah, I've gone the
We
last.
went 3 years.
Oh wow.
But the first year we didn't show you did the creed at the national.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So I've gone the last 2 years, competed with livestock, and
Your 8th grade year.
my 8th grade year I went to compete in the creed.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. Cool.